If you have an ugly laugh and you laugh at everything, oh, nah. No, you're gone. You're for the streets, whether you want to be or not.
For the streets? Oh, my goodness. That don't mean you for the streets. That just means find somebody who loves your laugh.
No, I'm saying I'm giving you to the streets. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The streets can have you. So that laugh.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I didn't know
Is that extra?
That's too extra.
Welcome back to Rightly So Podcast. We are going to talk about dating advice today.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of dating advice.
So hype.
So hype. But we're back, so let's get right into it.
Why do you think dating is hard?
Because of social media. Mm-hmm. Social media got these chicks thinking that they got options that they don't have.
Can I say something?
Hold on. So social media got these chicks thinking that they got something that they don't have. So they only f with niggas who got bread, and then turn around and be mad when them type of dudes who got a bunch of money want every. These same to turn around and pay Chris Brown $1,000 to take pictures with them. You feel me? They charge broke niggas to chill with them, but the more money you got, the less you got to spend. See, women only want to deal with dudes who don't have no opinion. That's why you see a lot of these bad chicks with these goofy, soft niggas who ain't gonna challenge them on nothing, who ain't gonna ask them no questions. Any man that got his own taken care of, don't need their money, don't need they. They don't want to deal with a nigga like that. They want a nigga that they can talk to crazy and disrespect them because they don't want no structure. They scared of real men, you feel me? Because a real man ain't gonna let them talk crazy and do all that goofy dumb shit. Definitely.
All I'm gonna say is, the same who went to school need gas money.
What was that guy talking about?
Same girls you went to school with
need gas money.
Oh.
Whatever you saying. Anyway.
Okay.
So how you feel about that first part? Like, why is dating so hard today? What do you think?
I do agree that social media does, or has kind of ruined the dating.
Yeah.
Excuse me, dating.
Yeah.
You can see everything. You want to find out something about somebody? Go to their social media profile. And you can find stuff that you probably will red flag you just from scrolling down somebody's profile.
I think it's that, right? And then on top of that, just like trying to live up to be something else. Like you have all these men and women that see these high figure people on social media and want to live that life, want to talk like they talk, act how they act, stuff like that. Talking about I need a 6-figure man. Like the advice that's out there is crazy, right? I mean, like, I need a 6-figure man that's going to do this, do that, do that.
I've seen some videos on how to get them in.
Yeah. And it's like, but you're not even 6-figure man material, right? Ooh. And then vice versa, right? Ooh. With guys wanting women to be submissive and this, that, and third, but it's like, yo, you don't even know how to lead yourself at times. So yeah, I think dating is hard just because I think social media is huge, and influence and influencers is huge.
It makes you think that one is supposed to be easy. You're just supposed to go out here and find all these people, and it creates this false narrative of what a relationship is supposed to look like, because everybody thinks, social media get up there and glamorizes love, but no, love take a lot of work, and people ain't really ready to work for these relationships out here. A
lot of people think it's supposed to be like materialistic, and I'm supposed to be difficult. Like, no, dating isn't supposed to be a fight every 5 seconds. Dating's supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to be entertaining. Like, I shouldn't be taking you out on a date and you want to act like you're hard to get, and you're yawning and stuff while we're going out on a date. Like, let's have some fun, man. Like, I'm telling you, there's some dating advice we'll get into a little bit later, but it's not, this dating advice is not real. So we're going to continue on and see what this lady has to say in her portion.
So my question was, do you with a real woman?
Let me answer that question.
And the reason why I asked
is
listening. Because if you with a real woman, she's going to agree with you. Hey, maybe I shouldn't step outside wearing this.
I respect that, baby.
Nasty.
Let me answer that. This is the problem. The real woman is standing too close to the so we don't know the difference until we start talking to y'all. No, listen. I met a lot of women. It don't mean, I don't care if they from the hood. I don't care if they got 2 parents. They interests are the same. It's like right now, right? If you see 10 lions coming down the street, are you gonna try to figure out which lion gonna bite your ass or not? You're gonna be like them 10 lions. So unfortunately, the real woman agree with too much that these is on, so we don't know the difference. Y'all gotta stand far away from the because y'all dress like them. Y'all wear the same they wear.
Right.
Y'all listen to the same music they listen to. And y'all stand for the same they stand for. In most cases, not you, baby, but in most cases, the real women got too much in common with the. Let me give you an example. We from the hood and all that, but a street nigga that's really out in the plug, that's really out there doing that dumb shit, he ain't got in common with me. So we look mad different. The women, y'all look too much, talk too much, and act too much like the bitches who ain't shit. So we don't know the difference.
I feel like
it's
a problem on both sides of stereotyping people, right?
All right.
Because if you stand too close to the can I say that word?
I mean, you good. I believe that.
You know, if you stand too close to these, unsavory women, I'll say that.
Right.
Then you also appear to be one of those unsavory women.
Right.
But you can't help that your friends out here, you know what I'm saying?
But you can help.
You can.
You can
I'm
help.
supposed to stop talking about friends because they unsavory? That's messed up.
Well, the thing about it
I like the same music.
Keep going. I like the same music.
I like city girl music.
Right. No, I mean, even in going with that, like, I understand where he's coming from. I understand where both of them are coming from, right? But from the man's point of view, just like he's saying, like, as a guy that's supposed to be going out there and finding, because men do the pursuing, right? Granted, some of y'all women sometimes, once in a blue moon, do your little, I'm interested in the guy, whatever, right? But most of the time, men are doing the pursuing, right? So if it's you and your girls, for instance, right? And all your girls are out and one of your friends is real ratchet, right? Mm-hmm. I'm thinking all y'all ratchet because all y'all out there doing the whatever. So for me and my taste, I know that I don't like ratchetness. So if I'm looking at y'all group, I know how you are now because I know you, right? Mm-hmm. But even in that, now, right?
So you had an impression at first.
No, we met a long time ago. You ain't had no ratchet friends.
now.
But if it's a group of y'all, I'm like, oh, all of them are ratchet. You know what I'm saying? Again, no, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. But at the same time, just like he said, if you see a bunch of lions going, you're not going to be like, oh, which one of these is going to bite me? You don't think all of them are the same, right? And then you get to know one if you pull one out. And then you have that same group of friends, if they are ratchet like that, who've never been in a relationship or don't want to be in a serious relationship giving you advice, then I have to be under the impression that you have the good head on your shoulders and you're not going to just go and listen to whatever they say because she talking about some, oh, all men do this and all men do that. And she ain't even had a relationship for longer than 2-3 months, but it's all men. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot.
It is a lot. I feel like it's hard on both sides because
for sure
both sides have a stereotype. You look at a man and a man approaching you, and I guess it depends on where you're at anyway. Because you'd be like, okay, do he approach all women like this? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't know what somebody is about until you get to know them.
Right.
But from what he's saying, like, you just don't know. And she's right. You don't know until you actually go up and talk to somebody or get to know someone.
Right.
You know, and she asks if you ever mess with a real woman. It's hard based off first impression. So his thing is first impression, basically. Right. And her thing is you got to get to know someone. And you don't know until you talk to someone. Because he was saying, like, basically guys are toxic for speaking their mind nowadays. And they're basically seeming kind of like, because I'm your man, I don't want you to go out looking a certain way. I don't want you to be a certain way. I don't want you. He's saying that's considered toxic nowadays. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and that's real. That just goes back to what we were saying about the social media thing. Like, there's so many very popular influencers, right, that will tell other women, hey, if he's telling you that you need to wear this and that, he's insecure, he needs to be more masculine. And there's also guys that are the same way, like, oh, I'll let my girl go out in whatever she wants to wear because I'm not insecure. I know she's going to come home like this. Okay, that ain't for everybody. Same thing with posting stuff on social media. You have people that are in relationships, women still posting bikini pictures and stuff like that. And that's the thing, like, I'm telling you what I like or what I prefer in a relationship, just like you will. But me as a man, because you don't agree, all of a sudden it's me being insecure or whatever like that. And then that's like a form of manipulation. You know what I'm saying? Now it's making me feel like I have something wrong with me because I have a preference. I'm not trying to be controlling or anything like that. I just have a preference on how I want you to go out. And now if I met you and this is how you've been rolling and rocking and stuff like that, even in that, because I got to know you, hey, I still have this preference. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you respect it, you respect it. You don't, you don't. Right. But a real woman isn't someone who's aggressive and wants to do, like, that's not what a real woman is. And that's the thing. Like, you get these people that say what a real woman is from other women who aren't in serious relationships, never been in serious relationships, or are in serious relationships, but the man that they're with is a pushover. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't speak his mind, like the guy was saying. He was like, they want these guys that are just like yes men in a sense. You know what I'm saying? That's not a real man being a yes man. You know what I'm saying?
But that also falls back to preferences, right? If you get with a guy who you feel like you can run all over him, that's who you prefer, because you don't want somebody who
but that's not a real woman.
Yeah, but if she's in a relationship and that relationship is working for her and working for him, then they are good. But it
that's
all
not
depends.
Reality. You know what I'm saying? That's not.
But if it works for some people, it is their reality, right?
I get
so
you.
something like that wouldn't work for us because you feel, you know, you voice your opinion and stuff like that, and I respect it, and I voice my opinion and you respect it. It got to give both ways, and if that works for them, that works for them. But what happens is people create this false reality that all relationships are like that and stuff like that. And if you're in a relationship or in a new relationship where you meet somebody who doesn't want you to post those kind of pictures and doesn't want you to, you know, go out and act a certain way or record certain things, then now it's seeming like you got somebody who's controlling, when in reality a man has his, like you said, his preferences just like a woman does. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta get with somebody who clicks, because at the end of the day, if you're voicing something that you don't like and the person that you're dating is like 1000%, I mean, you can kind of tell when somebody's kind of like taking it in and listening, like, okay, you know, he don't like this, I'll consider it, you know what I'm saying? But if they just like, you know what I'm saying, it takes a little while to kind of work out those kinks. It's push and pull on both sides. And
that's, you know, and it's hard, and my men out there, y'all know, y'all can drop comments down below. It's a little, I can't say it's harder or easier or anything like that, but as men, it's difficult to go and pursue somebody and then knowing with all this social media, everything that they're telling women that they need to be and how they need to act and how they need to be more aggressive and more assertive and stuff like that. Like, as men, then men are going out there thinking like that's the norm, having an aggressive woman, or one of the quotes, I'm sorry, I have to say this real quick. One of the quotes that I hate.
You going in.
Right? Not even. One of the quotes that I hate is, "I'll be a feminine woman once he gives me a reason to be." That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because you don't want your man to be a masculine man once you give him a reason to be. You want him to be as soon as he approaches you. So you need to be a feminine woman as soon as this man comes to the door. And that's the thing, like, you being a man and going out there, not to get side and be like, oh, there's something wrong with me, I'm not doing enough. Like, a lot of times you're doing more than enough, going above and beyond, but this person just isn't for you, you know. And it's getting to the point where more men are getting told that you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do, and it's like, no, that's not even your character. You're turning into somebody that you're not. You know what I'm saying? Trying to impress somebody who is making it a hard time. So then once you actually commit to this person and they start showing their true colors, now you're trapped. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing all this work for this one person to be, hopefully to be mine, and then I get this person and they're nothing. And be like, oh, man, ain't shit. No, you ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
right. You had a lot to say there. Did you get off your chest?
No, man. I got more to say, and rightly so.
Right. And that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you can't sit there and drill a hole. I don't know, some kind of saying. But you can't just keep
beat a dead horse.
There we go. Thank you. Something about. You know, you can't beat a dead horse. If you seeing that somebody that you with just obviously don't respect your opinion or don't take you into consideration when you're doing things, you know what I'm saying? Then that's where the problem lies. You know what I'm saying? Because it's people out here. You don't have to be stuck on that one person. That's, you know, I'm not saying that, you know, relationships take work. They do. But if you seeing that the red flags, then throwing them on red flags everywhere. Then, you know, maybe that person isn't for you, especially in the dating phase. I feel like you should be able to, and that's why it's important to date, and that's why it's important to not really move so fast when it comes to these people, because you don't know how a person is. It takes a little while to get to know someone, and I'm not saying that No, I am saying take your time. Go out here and date, because these people, you will be able to kind of filter out some stuff by going out and dating multiple people. Now, I'm not saying go out here and sleeping with multiple people, protect yourself and stuff like that. But dating multiple people and getting to know what your preferences are and what you like and the signs of somebody who cares for you and the sign for somebody who respects you, it will start to show, and you'll be able to see it sooner, you know what I'm saying? Or dating, that's all I can say, because I don't know, because you just went in.
My tip for you men out there is don't jump so fast into dating somebody just because you want to be with her and she seems like she's this, that, and the third. Don't jump so fast into dating somebody. You are proving to her that you can be a gentleman and the man that she wants you to be, right? She needs to be doing the same thing from the top. Now, I know canceling last minute, things happen, obviously. Right?
Everything has to be reciprocated.
Everything has to be, it's equal, 50-50, equal. I don't care.
Equal.
I don't care if it's bills. I don't care. Now, it's a little bit different with first dates and stuff like that. We'll talk about that maybe on some other podcast, but it's equal reciprocation as far as compatibility, like how this person likes you and how this person helps you along. You two are dating, right? And I'm not trying to get too deep because we have another video to get into, but
you should be able to feel it. You should be able to feel signs.
It.
Some people are deceiving, though. You know what I'm saying? Some people, what that guy say? Gold digger. No, I'm joking.
Manipulators.
Some people, manipulate. They don't show their true hand until later on in the relationship and stuff like that.
And then they'll go and they'll blame you for everything, and it ain't even you.
I'm trying to tell you.
All right. Anyways, we're going to get on to the next one, the next video.
Okay, I'm going to give you 3 things to put on your first date checklist before you accept a second date from a guy, because if he's not doing these things, it's probably not worth your time. The first thing is, before that first date, did he check in to confirm the date with you the day of or the day before? Did he text you the night before and say, hey, are we still on for tomorrow? I'm really looking forward to meeting you. Number 2, did he ask you a lot of questions on the date? Was he actually trying to get to know you, or was he just there to talk about himself? Number 3, did he check in with you after the date? Did he give you that follow-up text? Did he say, thank you for letting me take you out. I enjoyed meeting you. I had so much fun tonight. Or did you have to be the one to text him? Without these 3 things, at the minimum, I would not be going on a second date with him.
All right, so I don't want to do I'm going to just hit all 3 of them like real quick. All right, the checking in on the first date, that's needed, right? Just to make sure plans didn't cancel or change or anything like that.
Right.
That's for both, right? What did she say on the second one? She was like, oh, talking about yourself. Definitely, you shouldn't be talking about just yourself on the first date. Shoot, on any date. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all need to be reciprocating the conversation back and forth about equal amount of talking. Because that seems, what is it, narcissistic? Yeah, selfish, narcissistic, all that good stuff. What was the third one? Then checking after the date, like how did the date go? I mean, if I like somebody, I will, right? I don't think they should be deal breakers. The way she's making it seem like it's all this should be deal breakers.
Oh, no, definitely not deal
breakers. That's how she's making it out to be, right? I agree with a lot of them, like, hey, in order for it to be cordial and stuff like that, I feel like it should be like that, but it shouldn't be deal break. Like, oh, I'm not going on a second date with him because he didn't check in with me to make sure everything was still good. Well, maybe number two, he's just talking about himself the whole time. He may be nervous. Maybe a nervous rambler. He doesn't want any quiet stuff. Yeah, that's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the girl's in her phone the whole time, she doesn't act like she's interested. Maybe I have to talk about me. Nah, you make it about them. You ask them questions about them to make them talk about them.
That's true.
And then the last one, just checking in. It's not a deal breaker.
I feel like both people can do that.
For
like,
sure.
As a man, do you feel like that's something that is the man's responsibility to do that?
In today's dating, there is no responsibility to an extent, right? But for the most part, there's no one part, like it's the man's responsibility or the woman's responsibility dating.
Right.
I don't think so.
Because I feel like if I'm on a dating scene and I'm really excited to go see about a date or anything like that, then I would reach out like, hey, we're still on to make sure, especially if it's coming up and he hasn't said anything. Not like I'm being ghosted, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm sorry, like, hey, I want to make sure we still meeting up, or if he hasn't done it yet, you know what I'm saying? Or because you just don't, what's the timeline? What's the timeline that you text to make sure? Is it the day before? Is it 2 days before? You know what I'm saying?
I text 10 minutes before I'm supposed to meet up with you, or 30 seconds?
I don't know what the timeline. So I would probably reach out too. And the follow up afterwards, I do agree. Don't talk, guy or girl, don't talk about yourself the whole time. You're on a date. Get to know the person, that you're out on a date
For
with,
sure.
you know. So, but the follow up, if I really enjoyed myself, I'm gonna follow up.
You're gonna
too.
follow up
Yeah.
yourself. You know what I'm saying?
know
Like, it shouldn't be on me, and
Mm-hmm.
you don't know who you're dealing with. You're getting to know this person. This person could be have social anxiety and be really nervous, and you might be able to tell that, or maybe not. It just goes over your head. But
because I feel like, don't you text as soon as you make it home? Like, that was really nice. I really enjoyed myself.
yeah, you know, depending on how we've been talking, yeah, you should. You know, but
I don't know, but
if I'm having a good time with you and be like, oh, I had a great time. I can't wait till we do it again. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Like, but if he doesn't or she doesn't, it's not a deal breaker.
I don't think so. You know, you got to give people a chance. You never know what's going on in their life outside of that date. You know, something could have happened afterwards.
I could
have
just lost my dad. You talk about something. Oh, this is a date.
Tragic.
You talk about some. Oh, you didn't hit me up on follow up. I'm sorry. My father died.
Oh no. But yeah, definitely not a deal breaker. It works both ways. I feel like everything she said works both ways. Because you definitely, and I'm gonna teach my son, like, if a woman is interested in you, she's gonna show interest in you, and she's gonna follow up, and let my son know these things too. Because of course we're gonna teach our girls what to expect, but I feel like we don't teach our sons what to expect either, and I think that is really important.
People letting their sons get run over left and right.
I definitely don't want my son getting ran over. You know, not only I want him to treat him how to treat a lady, but I want to treat him how to be treated by a lady. And the same for my daughters. I don't only want to, because I was only taught how to be treated by a man. I don't think I was really taught how to treat a man.
All I was taught, from my mom to my dad to uncles and aunties, my coaches, you know what I'm saying, like in school, like how to treat a lady. Nobody told me how I need to be treated, and that's where I am
a princess. Okay,
yeah, whatever.
I get treated like a queen. Okay,
that's how. And this is like, open the door and pay the bill for the first date and pay for this and do this. Like, what about me? You know what I'm saying? Nobody teaches that. And so then when things happen to you, you don't even know if it's right or wrong of how you're supposed to be treated. You know what I'm saying? And that's dangerous. That was good.
That was good.
You want to go to the next one?
Yeah, let's do that.
To be honest, a lot of you guys suck at first dates because you're having conversations on these dates that you should not be having. So I'm going to tell you 5 topics that you should not bring up on a first date. Number 1 is anything with the word we. So we should go here next time. We should try this spot. No, we are not using the word we because it's overwhelming. Number 2 is self-deprecating humor. Although it may ease your tension on the date, it makes your date feel uncomfortable because they are seeing how insecure you are, and nobody wants to be around that. So hold the self-deprecating jokes, please. Number 3, I think this is usually for guys more than anything, but still, if you're going out with a guy who says stuff like this, like, stop, but also don't do it yourself. And that's sexual preferences. I've seen women that I work with go out with guys and are like, oh, he was talking about this sexual preference and that. And I'm like, no, that's weird. That is earned information. That is private, intimate information. And if he's already talking about that, it's weird. Number 4 is your therapist. Don't talk about your therapy sessions. Don't start your sentences with, well, my therapist says this. My therapist said, stop it. Number 5, stop talking about yourself the whole time. Stop talking about yourself. Let them ask questions about you, engage in the conversation and share things, but it comes off as very rude or narcissistic or sometimes just like nervous tendencies if you're just talking about yourself the whole time.
What you got?
Some of the stuff she said, let's see, what was one of the first things she said?
First one was the we.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's weird. If the date's going well,
right,
and it's towards the end of the day, and we should do this sometime. Like, because if you're talking to somebody and you're getting to know them, and y'all have the same interests, it's like, oh, we should do that together. Right. Like, oh, I like that too. We should. I don't think that's weird to say.
Because if it was me and you, that's how I'd be. I'd be like, we should
do everything together.
We should get married.
Let's start a family. Us, me and you. Never leave my side. We are perfect.
Like, this is the first date. But we should. Don't you agree? No, that's too far. But simple we stuff, that's not a red flag. That's not a red flag. Especially and that's the thing, like, you might not be interested in in the first date. And he might be, right? Or vice versa. She might be. Yeah. But we shouldn't be a red flag at all. Just how people talk. Hey, I see a future with you as far as another date, right?
Now, if the person's not really seeming interested in you, you know what I'm saying? Like, dropping the we word, like, honestly, I don't feel like saying we is bad. Yeah. But I wouldn't force anything. Like, I feel like the first date if the person is giving off vibes that they're not really feeling you or having a good time, I don't feel like you should force the second date by saying things like we should. But I don't think it's weird to say we should do anything. But
I'm talking to you.
No. I don't feel like you should initiate the second date by saying we should go do something if the person is definitely not giving you a good vibe that they're interested or want to, or that they want a second date. Definitely don't force it by saying we should go do something else.
Right.
Unless you like, let's get out of here. We should go. Change up the date because you're not having a good time.
Right. What's the other thing she said? Sexual preferences is one. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't want to hear all of that.
Yeah, no.
On the first date.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't think
on any dates really, depending on how deep we are, right? But no.
Maybe on the I'm about to say what fifth
date.
How many dates it takes before it start getting sexual?
All right. We was on the third date. Let me tell you what I think. My sexual preferences.
Because if you're attracted to the person, it's gonna come out eventually, but definitely not the first date. Not the first date. Early. I don't want to hear what you like
and guys, that's a red flag too. If a woman says her sexual preferences on the first date, because she's telling everybody on the. I feel like anybody, she's telling everybody her sexual preference.
She for the street.
Anybody, not just her, right? If a guy is doing that 9 times out of 10, he's doing that on all his first dates, right? So I would just. Red flag. Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Even some people ain't even made it to the date and they saying their sexual preferences.
Do text messages like, yo, I don't even know you.
People jump there nowadays.
I don't even know you, cuz. Wait a minute. Before we go on this first date, what's your sexual preference?
Send me some pics.
Send me something. I need to know. Send me them feet.
Oh my goodness.
What else she talk about? She said, and the therapist. How you feel?
It depends.
It does for
on
sure.
how it's delivered.
For sure.
All right, because I'm with it too. Like I'm all for people going to therapy. It's good for you, But it does be like.
It depends on the context. It depends on the context, right? Because, like, if I'm nervous or whatever, and something happened, and I just got out of a long relationship, and I don't know how the dating scene, right? Like, and I've been going to therapy for it, then maybe that kind of like. Oh, I'm nervous, so, but because I went to therapy, but maybe not a deep dive into therapy. I'm trying to make it good. I'm trying to make
That's a sign that, you should not. Maybe she got a point. No, don't bring that mess up. Don't ease into it because, like she said, that is very personal information. And somebody could take it the wrong way. And you don't want that to be the deal breaker, especially if you're working on yourself and it's something that you're working towards a goal of overcoming, so you don't want to scare potential I want to say prospects. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what it is.
Away by saying that you're going through therapy. I definitely don't think it's something that you should hide. I feel like it'll come up when it's time. If this person is seeming like they, could be potentially somebody that you want to continue to date and stuff like that, then it's going to come up.
Yeah, for sure.
Eventually. Now,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Unless your therapist hooked you up. That's the only time.
Your therapist hooked you up. And
you met in a therapy group.
Oh, my goodness. Why would I be bringing up therapy? We're in the therapy group. My thing with that is kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? To fill out the situation, right? Because somebody might be telling you a story about themselves and bring up therapy, and the therapy might be relevant to the story, right? And that's a different thing. You can't help that, right? If therapy plays a big part in their life and it's not something that makes them look psychotic, like I have therapy because I was close to my grandmother passed away, and I'm just trying to move forward. That's not a red flag, not to me. It all depends on, again, what the context is. Why are you getting therapy? You know what I'm saying? So it's just a slippery slope, and it's just try to figure out what the therapy is for, and then you gauge it, you judge it. What was the last one she said?
Was self-deprecating. So what's your
what's your take on that? How you feel?
I feel like I agree. Don't shame yourself on the first date. Could you imagine, like, I'm eating and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fat. I just need to go on a diet. I just been carried away with myself. I'm so obese.
Why are we here? Why are we eating? Why you chose this place? You said you love this place.
You know, or just, you know, saying stuff like, I'm so stupid. Or, you know,
Again, people's humor is different, so you have to fill it out. I wouldn't say it's a red flag. It's just, I would keep that to a minimum, if not nip it in the bud as best you can. Because saying something like, I'm a klutz or something like that, you know, it could be considered it, right? But but being like, I mean, just saying it like all the time, like really putting yourself down. Like, of course, that's you might need to be the person that talks about your therapy. Like, hopefully, your conversation about therapy comes up, and then all the red flags make sense, and we just never going to see each other.
That's so sad. Because somebody could truly just be nervous, and they like, I guess it's still
it's one of those nervous things.
Yeah, it's still just showing a sign that you're really just insecure.
Yeah,
and that's something I feel like. If that's something that you really struggle with, then the dating scene might not just be for you just yet. There's some things that you have to work on personally. That's another thing too. Don't date to rush when your life is not really where it should be, because it definitely can cause problems in your relationship, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely want to make sure that you have yourself together before you jump into something, because it really just causes problem, and it just makes the relationship a little harder, because not only is someone who's coming into your life with their own issues and their own problems that they're working on, you know what I'm saying? And of course they should be working towards getting themselves, but nobody's perfect, of course. But it's some things that you know that you need to work on before jumping into a relationship with someone. So that's definitely something to consider. If you're self-deprecating, or if you feel really insecure, that's something that you need to work on before you start dating.
Yeah, for sure. And with all this stuff, like all these red flags and stuff like that, understand, like, being the person, like, because we're judging off of what the other person's actions or what they're saying is, you know, you want to make sure that you're that person that also is a listening ear and allowing them to be themselves, because dating is nerve-wracking, you know what I'm saying, for both parties. Like, you have people out here who go on dates and they're pros at dating and they expect to be treated a certain way, and you might not have that same experience, right? Or the person you're with might not have that same experience. So it's good to, with all these things that they say, it shouldn't be an instant red flag, right? But if it's something where it's like, where they fumbled on a first date, there are levels to these red flags, right? There are levels. Right. I want to say stuff without saying too much, but you know, if it's like, oh well, they kind of did, okay, give them a second date, right? Or even coax them in conversations between the first date and the second date on how you like conversations and what you want to talk about, and you can nip some things in the bud. Some people are very sensitive, but at the same time, you can tell them, hey, let's not talk about sexual preferences right now or anything like that, you know. And if a person's interested in you, they'll respect how you want them to talk, right?
And there's nothing wrong with setting boundaries. Now, I'm not saying to be difficult or unreasonable, right? But you definitely want to, you know, just set some boundaries. Like, you have boundaries. Like, okay, I do like you and stuff like that. But like you said, steer the conversation if you can. A person who is picking up on cues will get the hint. Like, okay, I just asked the question.
You hope.
And they totally did not answer the question. Like, you know, you steer away from, you know, you don't have to talk about things. If you don't feel comfortable with talking about something, don't talk about it. Yeah. Or you could say, like, oh, you know what? I'd rather not say. You know? It's okay.
It's okay. It's a slippery slope on both sides. And this is, you know, we have to teach. If any of you guys are watching, have kids, you know what I'm saying, or even dealing with it yourself, you know, just having the conversation with people who have relationships that you look up to. There we go. That's what I wanted to say. People who have relationships that you look up to, whether it be your grandmother, your mom and dad, a friend of yours. I'm not talking about those relationships that's been going on for 6-7 years and they fight like cats and dogs. I'm talking about the ones that they go out, you don't really know anything about their business unless they give it to you and they're happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're working things out.
And you know,
go ahead.
I'm going to say a lot of couples like that handle their problems behind closed doors. Right. So that's another reason why I think social media ruins relationships, because you get in a fight with your spouse, you running on social media and posting about it and talking about your spouse and bashing your spouse, and everybody in the world who usually see a happy couple now see y'all bashing each other on Facebook or Instagram just for y'all to be back together. You know,
and everybody has that bad side of it.
And people know that, you know, that's just how temptation comes into play, and just people just don't need to know your business. It's okay to keep it off social media if you're going through a tough time with your spouse.
Yeah, and that's another red flag. We're not talking about red flags.
We should talk about some red flags just for fun.
What, right now?
Yeah, let's talk about some red flags.
Red flags.
You start.
This is a red flag segment.
Red flags.
No, you start because you're excited. I'm not.
Red flags.
You threw that at me. Yeah.
I did throw it at you. Now I got to think of one.
Well, I'll go with the one I was going to say. So, red flag is somebody who runs to social media with their problems, just like we were just saying. I was going into that. But somebody who's, as soon as we get into an argument, they're typing up lyrics that pertain to what we're going through. They're like, oh, yeah. They're saying subliminal things.
We beefed on social media one time. It was so funny.
And I won that. He
didn't win.
I won, big dog. I like it. I can't put the clips in here.
It's on Snapchat, so that's long.
I won. Nah. But stuff like that. Of course, things happen, right? Things happen, but we're not that type of person. We've had plenty of arguments, and we don't run to social media or anything like that. So, but yeah, that's a big red flag.
Yeah, that is. Oh, talking about a past relationship the whole time. Can you imagine?
Right.
Can you imagine?
Dang, we used to love doing this.
Man, I was in a relationship for 6 years. I don't even know why. Let me ask your opinion as to why. Why you think my ex?
Why you think my ex? I just have a good time. Like, yeah, me and Shonda used to do this all the time. I loved it. She loved it.
I picked this restaurant because me and my ex used to come here all the time.
Stop. Red flag. You and your ex. What? Who?
Right.
What?
Oh. How long y'all been broken up? About a week. Red flag.
Red flag. Red flag. I can't even think of any other red flags.
Oh my goodness.
You got any more?
I do. I saw one. Well, I don't have it, but this guy was talking about this girl who was sorry, I'm weak. She was talking about zodiac signs. How do you feel about that?
It's the dumbest thing in the world.
It's a lot of people who really believe in astrology and stuff like that. But I like to say it because it's something we have in common. Oh, we're both a Taurus. It's fun, But this guy,
that's about as far as it goes.
He was like, the girl was like, I'm a Cancer, and my ex was a Leo or something like that. And he was like, okay, yeah. She was talking about her ex, talking about his zodiac sign, and he was also a Leo and all this other stuff. And he was like, well, what did that teach you? She was like, I just need to not date Leos. And he was like, he left her. He left her in the restaurant. Like, I was like, oh my goodness.
That is stupid. Like, if you go over, because those, just for anybody that's listening that looks at zodiac signs, all of them are built to boost you up. You can look at any month that doesn't even pertain to you.
Whatever.
And it's going to boost your head, right? It's going to boost your head up. I was looking at some zodiac sign.
It's so funny we saying this. We have matching tattoos with our zodiac signs.
But we don't live by. That's different, right? We don't go and live by like, oh yeah, my sign today says that this, and I'm not compatible with this, and that, right? We got our zodiac signs because the way it looks.
It look like it says you and me.
It looks like it says you and me, right? And that's it. Neither one of us are like, oh yeah, I'm a Virgo today, and the moon is over there, so everything must be good.
People really believe in that.
People are crazy.
I don't know. It's interesting. But
red flag. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say I do have another one. Go ahead.
Red flag for me that I would say as far as dating is if you're going on a date, and I guess this is more for men, right? If you're going on a date with a woman and she's in her phone the entire time, maybe you're boring, but not like that, right?
That's for anybody.
That's for either side. But you'll get the girl who'll be like, oh yeah, let's go out to eat. Then she'll be on her phone the whole time, and then she'll eat, and then y'all leave. Nah, that's a red flag. You just wanted me for a meal. That's all that is.
Oh my goodness.
I ain't that boring.
Both of them. Both sides.
Man,
both sides. Ain't nothing that interesting in your phone. Or it's a sign that the person don't know how to hold a conversation, which is also another red flag. You shouldn't
be going on no dates.
Yeah.
Why you want to be with me if you can't hold a conversation?
Yeah. Get to know. Ask questions. That's advice. If you don't know what to say, ask questions about the person. People love to talk about themselves. So if you feel like you're finding things it's hard for you to find things to talk about, ask the person that you're on a date with a question about themselves. Yeah. You need to look up questions on what to ask on the first date. There's so many online. Just Google it.
Right.
But What else? That was going to be my red flag. Just the person in their phone the whole time.
I'm a big. That's one of my pet peeves. Like when I was dating, if we go out on a date, like we're on a date. Granted, things happen, right? You gotta check your phone. Maybe you have kids or something like that. But we're here to enjoy each other. You know what I'm saying? What could possibly be going on that you can't enjoy this date? Now, granted, if it's all day, we spend 8-10 hours. Okay, that's different, right? But if we're going on a little mini date to go out to a restaurant, what's going on for the next hour and a half that you have to be on your phone the entire time?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that bothers me.
All right. That's it. That's all I can think of.
That's all you got?
Yeah. An ugly laugh. Red flag. No, I'm joking. That's not ugly. That's not a red flag.
People be weak. They can't control their laughs.
I'm joking. Laughs are cute.
Yeah, they are.
That's a laughs are cute.
I mean,
that's not a red flag. People can't.
People can't control their
They
laughs.
can't control their laugh.
An ugly voice.
That's a pet peeve. A turn off.
An ugly laugh? My thing is if it's if you have an ugly laugh and you laugh at everything, oh nah. No, you're gone. You're for the streets. Whether you want to be or not.
For the streets. Oh my goodness. That don't mean you for the streets. That just means find somebody who loves your laugh.
No, I'm saying I'm giving you to the streets.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The streets can have you. That laugh.
Whatever.
I can't even deal. Ain't nothing that funny.
I be laughing loud in restaurants. It'd be funny.
It'd be funny. You be laughing loud around the house.
I do.
All right. Thank you guys for joining Rightly So Podcast. You guys, please like this. Even if you don't like it anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
And leave a comment
Red flag.
down below.
Red flags.
Leave a comment
all
down below.
through here. Comment your red flags. What you think? What's some red flags on dating? I know we probably missed a bunch of them, but that's just something it was random. We didn't really plan to talk about red flags.
Right.
So.
I want to know you guys' top red flag. Like, what's your number one red flag that you guys have, right? And leave it down in the comment. So that is us. We'll be hitting you guys again with another video here soon. Thank you guys for coming. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this content, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.